Hey guys, what's happening? This is Ish the Draku Hot Gamer here as today for hashtag Unleash the Dragon Day, I wanted to make a list for what I personally want to see in the new Spyro game. These are my personal thoughts on what I like to see, as I'm open to new ideas and using old ideas and incorporating them into this new game. With that out of the way, let's begin. For number 12, I want the music in Spyro 4 to be composed by Stuart Copeland, with sounds that match the levels like the original games, mixed in with inspiration from A Hero's Tale's instrumentals as well. Because A Hero's Tale had a lot of great OSTs, just like the original games, but the original games had more legendary themes and themes that made the original Spyro series so iconic. Kind of like the Crash on the Run Dark Spyro boss theme. I think this is I think this would be a satisfying composition to compose, but could be rivaling the legendary soundtrack of the original trilogy if done correctly. Number 11. I like to see the developers, supposedly Beanox, create their own designs for the Spyro characters. Given the characters a different design would make the game distinctive and its own identity from other Spyro games. Similar to how Crash 4 is about time, the Sonic the Hedgehog series before the 2000s changed the designs in each game. Even though I will miss the reignited designs, I am 100% for the new designs just as long as they are faithful to Spyro's design. Number 10. I like to see world building within the story. World building would be a welcome addition to this game because personally, I like seeing a world grow differently after progression throughout the game. Spyro Hero's Tale actually did this first, as there are dark gems planted in different areas, creating a dark atmosphere. But when you destroy the dark gems, that world is no longer covered in darkness. Skylander Spyro's Adventure also does this, as you obtain the elements and build a core of light. This would be great in Spyro 4, as I think that having a story around restoring worlds and seeing the aftermath will let the players have the great sense of collecting collectibles, and adding on to it with seeing your actions affect the game. Number 9. New collectibles that are worth it at the end of the game. This is a no-brainer, as what's a Spyro game without any collectibles? In this game, I would like a couple of different collectibles. First, we're obviously going to have gems as one of the collectibles, but the main objective in the game will have something to do with the progression of the game, such as entering new boss fights in new areas. This and the gems should be counted as the 100% completion. There should also be collectibles that add towards getting Spyro and other characters' skins. This will give the player more motivation to find the hidden collectibles within each world. They should put a lot of collectibles within the game and make some of them hidden. However, they shouldn't make it overwhelming like Crash 4 It's About Time. Instead, make it similar to A Hero's Tale, depending on the number of levels in the game. Getting the collectibles for the skins should also count towards on the 20% completion of the game, giving the game a bonus level and the final ending of the game. Also, let the endings of the game feel worth it, like Spyro 1, 2, and the reignited version of Spyro 3. Number 8. The last homeworld to have a linear order before the final boss. I would like the last homeworld to have a linear order before the final boss, like Spyro 1, A Hero's Tale, and the Legend of Spyro games. I think by doing this, it will give some tension going into the final boss of the game. The levels should also have something to do with the main antagonist's homeworld, like how Spyro 1's last levels are related to Nasty's world, otherwise known as North Nexus. Playing these levels only increased the tension for me playing the game, which is why I prefer a linear path to the final boss. Number 7. Difficulty settings. Spyro 4 should have difficulty settings of easy, medium, hard, and nightmare mode. Difficulty settings in Spyro 4 would enhance the experience for many players and have many benefits. First off, it would allow new players to experience the game without any sort of difficulties, while experienced players can enjoy the game on a harder scale. Secondly, Nightmare Mode should be unlocked by defeating the game first. However, Nightmare Mode should give the enemies at least 2 hit points, change the location of collectibles, and give Spyro 3 hit points, exclusive and tough, as well as exclusive and tough platforming puzzles, and more hit points for the boss fights, as well as giving them a slightly faster reaction time. Difficulty settings in a modern Spyro title would increase the replay value and be very welcoming to every type of player. Number 6. I would like more interactions for Spyro. I would like Spyro to interact with many different characters within each level, just like Spyro 1 and A Hero's Tale. What I mean by this is Spyro interacting with other NPCs and not just the main NPCs who are involved in the story. Enter the Dragonfly did this too, but not in full-blown cutscenes like Spyro 1 and A Hero's Tale. This would be neat to see, as I think it would bring more life to the game. However, please give each cutscene a distinct animation for Spyro like Spyro 1 Original and Reignited, and not reuse animations like Ratchet and Clank PS4. I want to see this as it would show how Spyro interacts with new characters as well. Number 5. Spyro 1 level design. Spyro 1 is my favorite Spyro game of all time, and part of that is because of the level design. Spyro 1's level design focuses all on platforming, but using many of Spyro's abilities to do so. For example, Treetops is known for its tricky supercharge and glide combination. Some people seem to hate this level, but honestly, this is one of the best levels that complements Spyro's movesets as it helps him get to new areas and discover new secrets of the level. Spyro 1 has the best level design in the entire series, and I would like Spyro 4 to follow. However, I don't want the mini-games from Spyro 2 and 3 to be forgotten. So what they should do is try to have the level design from Spyro 1 and sprinkle in a few mini-games. A Hero's Tale. A Hero's Tale was mostly focused around platforming, and like Spyro 1 complements all of Spyro's movesets, while maintaining the formula of Spyro 2 and 3, which is one of the biggest things I appreciate about A Hero's Tale. The mini-games should also help Spyro obtain collectibles for skins. It can even include optional fetch quests, also like A Hero's Tale, where you find something to bring back to an NPC and get a collectible. Spyro 4's level design should also have many diverse themes centered around the homeworld, like the previous games. The level design of Spyro 4 should be able to complement what everyone seeks within their own idea of a modern Spyro game. Number 4. Another thing I'd like to see is the use of other characters. Another thing I'd like to see in Spyro 4 is the involvement of other characters in the story and gameplay. The friends Spyro's made in the past shouldn't be left forgotten and could be very useful for the upcoming game. The characters from the original trilogy that should return are Laura, Hunter, Bianca, Zoe, and Moneybags. While characters like the critters from Spyro 3 and the Professor should make at least cameos or 1 or 2 appearances. Sparks, Allura, Hunter, and Bianca could be also crucial to the gameplay, such as Hunter using his bow and arrow along with new abilities, as his gameplay should be like A Hero's Tale, but better. They could probably make it into something like taking down every enemy in his area without taking 1 or 2 hits. Bianca could use her magic abilities to take care of special puzzles that Spyro can't do himself, making her gameplay more of a puzzle platformer, kind of like Clank. Laura could probably wield a new source of power that Spyro picks up and uses that to explore other parts of a level. Other parts of a level Spyro can't. She could also do something like have a strong kick like Sheila. Sparks could probably have the same gameplay from Spyro 3, but when he meets the boss, it goes into the style of Spyro A Hero's Tale gameplay, where he is chasing the boss and dodging his attacks and other enemies. There's one more character that I'd like to be playable, but that's a later request on this list. In general, I know some people are against the thought of playable characters, but honestly, I would like to see more characters to play as aside from Spyro. Number 3. Dark Spyro. I would like to see Dark Spyro return to the series as an antagonist and Spyro's alter ego. Dark Spyro would be an interesting villain in my opinion if they are able to write him in an engaging way. Personally, if I were writing Spyro 4, I would make him as strong as Spyro himself. But the only difference is that Spyro uses his abilities for good causes, while Dark Spyro uses his abilities only out of darkness. Dark Spyro would have the abilities of dark elements. Dark Spyro's origin should also be explained within the story as well, and how he was brought into the world. In my own thoughts, I would have had a sorcerer, like the sorceress from Shadow Legacy, want to create a world of darkness across every realm. To do that, he has two servants, one being a character for the next topic, and the other being Dark Spyro. Dark Spyro is created from the presence of a heroic dragon by Heart, who is content to make in peace and has traveled across more than one realm. Once he creates the Spyro clone, he is able to use dark magic to transform him. Other than that, I would like to see Dark Spyro as a threat and someone who actually gets on Spyro's nerves, unlike Ripto, Nasty Nork, or any of the original Spyro villains. Dark Spyro could become one of the best villains in Spyro if done right. Number 2. Cinder. Spyro 4 should definitely have Cinder for many reasons. Cinder is a fan favorite for many reasons alone. One of those reasons being from her character development in the Legend of Spyro trilogy. At first, she was a villain who did the evil bidding of Malefor, and didn't really have a choice. After being defeated and rescued by Spyro, she reforms, but doesn't really know where to be since she's guilty about the pain she's caused others, as it just won't go away from her memory. She's also a damsel in distress because of this. In the last game, Cinder becomes a hero and overcomes the doubt about herself. Cinder in this universe of Spyro should have a similar storyline, but toned down to fit the tone of the series, while maintaining what made Cinder an amazing character to begin with. I would prefer Cinder to have a brother-sister relationship with Spyro rather than a romantic relationship. Personally, I prefer Elora to be with Spyro, but on the other hand, I think Spyro shouldn't need a love interest. This is because Spyro doesn't care about romance, and for him to all of a sudden care about romance would be abrupt. I also think that she should help Spyro after her reforming and be significant in the story. As for her gameplay, like Dawn of the Dragon, she should have the same movesets like Spyro, but different elemental attacks. For example, she should have Acid, Poison, Wind, and Fear. Her gameplay should revolve around a dark alternative version of the level with different assets, which focuses on her using abilities for platforming and finding secrets. It's questionable to why Cinder isn't in the next Spyro game when Dark Spyro is there. But regardless, she would make an excellent addition to the game. However, there is something I want more in this game, and that is elemental abilities. That's right, baby. I want elemental powers to be incorporated into Spyro's moveset and have involvement within the story. Spyro should have a variety of elements and not just limited to 5 from like the last games. Spyro should have fire, ice, electricity, nature, water, light, time, and magic. These attacks should help for new platforming abilities to find new secrets and do specific puzzles within the level design. One game that does an amazing job with this is The Legend of Spyro: Dawn of the Dragon, as the game allows you to work with the elemental powers to find different areas and many collectibles within the areas, complementing your exploring skills and Spyro's movesets. I also think that Spyro should change form when equipped with an elemental power, something similar to the spectacular Winter Guardian Spyro skin from Crash Team Racing. Spyro should obtain these abilities by defeating boss fights like in A Hero's Tale, keeping the pacing between obtaining abilities consistent. Spyro shouldn't be the only one to receive elemental attacks, as I think every other playable character should at least have one added to their moveset, except for Cinder. For example, Hunter should be given the ability to add lightning to his moveset, increasing more opportunities in his gameplay. The same goes for the other characters. Cinder should also have elements complementing her abilities like Dawn of the Dragon. They might include some RPG elements for the elemental abilities like the Legend games, which I would be interested in seeing just as long as it's not the primary focus of the game. As for the story part, the elements should be used as homeworld themes, such as fire or ice having its own respective homeworld. Spyro should be able to obtain the source of these elementals to restore their respective homeworlds, which in turn creates no darkness in that area, as this is the main collectible in the game. Using elemental abilities in Spyro 4 would increase the amount of platforming and exploring elements when done right, but I think Beanox could bring this part of the game to its full potential. Overall, I want this to be a game where the developers are proud to show off their product and treat this game as if they want to make the best Spyro game possible. Like how this was a mindset of Toys for Bob when making Crash 4 It's About Time. I want to be able to play this game and enjoy it like the original slash reignited trilogies A Hero's Tale, A New Beginning, and Dawn of the Dragon, and some parts of Enter the Dragonfly and The Eternal Night. I want to be able to say at the end, Spyro is back and for good this time, like Crash. This is my list of what I want to see in Spyro 4. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to hit that like button if you liked the video. I also want to credit these content creators for the works I used in this video. Make sure to comment below to showcase what you'd like to see from the next Spyro game. With that said, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Peace.